Peterson. Welcome back to my channel. It's holiday baking day and I am so excited. I've been looking forward to holiday treats day since I put up my Christmas tree, and today's the day. I have 5 holiday treats that I'm going to be sharing with you, 3 of which are gluten-free, which is very exciting for me. As always, I will be putting all of the recipes that I'm using today in the description box below. Other than that, grab your apron, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's get started.
I always find that getting set up seems to take a while for me, but I do like to have all of my ingredients set out, and I did section them out for each thing that I was making. Plus, I made a tray that has just my frequently used things so that I'm not constantly looking for them. Well, I feel like for the first item, you always end up doing a lot more waiting because you don't have multiple things going, but this one is so worth it. I'm getting my butter creamed, trying to just pass the time, pray to Mary Berry, get through that first little hurdle because I know that it's going to start getting really chaotic as things progress. These cookies are really, really good. I feel like you could probably make them with just regular flour, but I did only make them with the gluten-free. It is a gluten-free specific recipe, but I've just got my butter creamed. I'm adding in my oil, and then you just add the other ingredients in succession. This one has sour cream, sugar, peppermint extract, and then all of your basic cookie ingredients like eggs, baking powder, things like that. So I'm going to get all of my wet ingredients combined, get that mixed together, and then add in the flour. And then we are going to chop up some mix-ins that are so delicious. Well, I am using the Andes Peppermint Crunch Thins. These things are so good. I couldn't find just the bag of them already chopped up. Andes does make those, but I did manage to find these, so I'm just going to chop them up myself. It was quick work. I did it while the dough was mixing, and once that was finished, I'm just gonna mix it in. The dough is a little sticky, especially with gluten-free flours. This is what you kind of just run into. And I am starting with all of the gluten-free recipes so that I don't have any cross-contamination. I keep gluten to a minimum, but I can have it. But I do have friends that are celiac. My mother-in-law is celiac, so I'm just always very careful when I'm doing things like this to make sure that I do the gluten-free items first, clean everything as I go, and try not to get any cross-contaminants of gluten in what I'm making. Once you get everything scooped out, you just press each cookie. I just put some sugar on the back of this measuring cup, and you press them down all evenly and bake them for like 7 to 8 minutes. The recipe is very clear. Do not overbake these. You want them to stay nice and chewy in the middle. These are a chilled iced sugar cookie, so you want to make sure that they still stay nice and chewy once they are chilled. But once you're done, I've just got them cooling. Christmas baking is always a 2-day adventure for me, so I'm getting these to room temperature and I will put them in the refrigerator, and then the next day I am going to ice them, and we're going to jump them back and forth a lot in this video, but I'm just making a sour cream frosting, which is going to be delicious. Chatting with friends, Christmas baking day is always a fun adventure.
Everybody. They just want you throw it all in there. I'm gonna whip it. Whip it good.
That was a struggle, but that was the peppermint extract. It's a peppermint frosting, and then you put a little bit of red food coloring in there to make the frosting just the lightest color of pink, and it's so cute.
So I'm making my fudge. I make fudge every single year. It's so easy. I don't do the marshmallow fluff fudge. I do it with just chocolate chips, sweetened condensed milk, and butter. And it's just really rich and creamy. It's so good. I will usually flip-flop between semi-sweet or dark chocolate chips. I'm going with semi-sweet for this batch. I will likely make it again before the holiday season is over. But I like to do mine over a double boiler. You could just as easily do it in the microwave. But my bowl that I do it in, because I double it, is too big for the microwave, and I don't mind doing the double boiler. So what I'm going to do is get this water boiling, and while that's boiling, I want to measure out all of my chocolate chips, which I'm going to use a scale for. What's really nice about this recipe is that you can just kind of throw it all into one bowl, warm it up, and get it all mixed. The one thing though that you've got to be careful of is make sure that you have your pan ready or your dish ready, just because it starts to go fast. So all I did was line this 9x13 with some parchment paper. You can spray it. I've done it with foil. I've just buttered it before. It's really up to what you want to do to get it to come out, but this comes together really quickly. So I need 40 ounces of chocolate chips. So I'm going to grab my scale, get everything in the bowl and measure it, and this should be up to a simmer by the time I'm done doing that. When I do this, I get it to almost completely melted, and then I pull it off the double boiler and finish mixing it off of the heat before pouring it into the pan. I am going to make it all pretty, and then I decided to pat it down with my hands because I wanted to make sure that the sprinkles would stay on top. So it'll look weird, but it was to get the sprinkles to stay on there.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Okay, so my next recipe is the salted peanut butter Christmas trees, which I am so excited about. They look really good. They're basically like a souped up Rice Krispie treat with a hard shell chocolate icing on it that you put sprinkles on. And I'm super stoked about it. So I'm gonna get that going. You do have to melt some stuff on the stove and do your dry ingredients so that there's still some moving parts, but you have to do that with Rice Krispie treats, so you know what that is. So I'm gonna start by melting everything that I need to on the stove and getting my dry ingredients measured out, and then we will combine them and create magic. Oh, one thing that I am going rogue on is instead of an 8x8, I'm going to use my big baking sheet and double the recipe so that they're a little bit flatter and I have more trees.
Reindeer's coming out to play.
Well, this one just starts off with crushed pretzels. I'm using gluten-free ones, oats, and Rice Krispie cereal. You get that all mixed together in a bowl, and then you move over to the stove to make your syrup. It's brown sugar, carob syrup, and peanut butter. This one was so good.
Putting on the show for everybody to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children.
Well, I had to grow an extra arm to get this done. Sorry, it's my husband. He's helping. But I'm going to get this all mixed together, press it out onto the pan, let it chill for a little bit before adding the chocolate topping.
Room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby.
As you can see, it's a little chaotic in my house. All of my kids are returning from school. There was a lot going on. It's a miracle I did not mess up these recipes much. There were some mistakes. But this is just chocolate chips and peanut butter, and I'm going to microwave it and then spread it on the top.
Baby.
I think there's souped up
Merry
version.
Christmas.
Oh! Yeah, that's what they'll look like. Get out of here. I'm filming.
Merry Christmas,
We're down.
baby.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day.
Now that the topping is evenly distributed, I am just going to put it in the refrigerator to chill overnight so that the next day we can get it all cut up and finished. This one was tough. I probably should have got it out and let it come to room temperature a little bit more before I cut it. So I did have a little bit of a struggle getting these things cut. And they started out really big. I decided those were just way too big. So I split it again. And I'm just doing these little trees and they're so fun. But on top of this, I'm going to put a little bit of a green icing. Look at the tree. I made a triangle. I'm so proud of myself. But the icing is just powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, and then I am adding in some green food coloring to make it green because it's a tree. And then we're just gonna put it on the trees, put some sprinkles on because always sprinkles. and you have a delicious Christmas tree treat.
More than words can say, and I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic
Next, we're going to do shortbread cookies, which are one of my husband's favorites. This one's really, really simple. It's only 4 ingredients to start with to make your shortbread, just butter, sugar, flour, and vanilla. So I'm gonna get those all in the mixer until it forms kind of a harder dough. We're gonna portion it out and make little logs with it to put jam in the middle. Oh, I'm excited. Just enough. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, do. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Well, once the dough is all made, you're going to make your logs, and I just cut this into 4 pieces, and honestly, of all the things, this was the hardest part for me. I just had a hard time getting them in the shapes that I thought that they needed to be in. Maybe these are fine, I don't know, but this was a struggle, and I should have probably chilled this after I worked with it with my hands so much, because they did spread a little bit more than I wanted them to, but they are Connor approved. He thought that these turned out delicious. You'll notice they grew together just a little bit, so while it is still warm, I am just splitting it so that they're 2 again. And then I didn't have enough of a well in there or a divot, so I'm just using my offset spatula to press it down so that it can hold the jam once it's cooled. But now that it's the next day, we can add our jam. I'm just using a homemade strawberry jam and putting it in the middle. I'll make an icing that's just the powdered sugar and milk and a little bit of vanilla, and again, sprinkles, because always sprinkles.
Whoa, oh, oh, da, 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 oh, 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 da, 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 oh, oh, da, 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 making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da.
So now I'm finally I gonna start the Cranberry Bliss bars. They're a little bit more involved than all of the other things that I've made, but they're so delicious that I'm gonna take the time to do it. But it does have you brown butter, so I'm gonna start by doing that, and it should come together pretty quickly.
Oh, da 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 da, making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree.
I used to be really intimidated by browning butter, but it is really easy as long as you're willing to babysit it and don't let your pan get too hot. But look at that, it's gorgeous. Don't leave any of that behind. No brown bits left behind. You need every last one. This needs to cool before you can add it into everything else. So I'm just getting my flour measured out, baking powder, salt, that kind of stuff. And I was letting it sit on the counter, but I'm too fast, I'm too efficient. And so I had to put it in the fridge and wait.
Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, da, 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 da. Oh, 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 da, 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 da. Making our Christmas memories. Yes, these are the good times with you. Don't even care what we do if I spend it with you.
Once my butter was chilled, I am just adding in the brown sugar, the eggs, and I'm going to zest the orange. This makes it so delicious, and I have a giant orange. It was a really good orange. I ate the rest of the orange once I was all done with this. Delicious. Probably one of the best oranges I've had in a while. Anyways, I'm adding the vanilla, getting that all mixed. I'm going to incorporate everything and mix it all together because that's how baking works. And then I'm going to add some white chocolate chips and dried cranberries.
Making our Christmas memories.
Drive alone in December rain. They play my favorite song. I see a snowflake melt on the deck. I'm awful cold and longing for the holiday. Counting days until you're here. I've been waiting this whole year. Dear Christmas, Christmas, Christmas night. I know you may stop a light, but together we're alright. You know we're ready for Christmas.
Once I get it all spread out of the pan, I'm putting it in the oven at 350. Fun fact, everything baked at the same temperature but the shortbread cookies. That's why I used a different oven. But once they were done, I pulled them out of the oven. The oven tried to kill me, but we survived. These smelled amazing. Oh my gosh, I love Cranberry Bliss bars. They're so good. But we are into the next day. Connor was hanging out with me, making jokes, being hilarious as he always is. But I'm going to make the frosting. It's like a basic cream cheese frosting, but then you add in the orange zest and some juice. It's so good. I could have just eaten the frosting, but probably shouldn't do that.
So tall, wake me up with a kiss on my nose. It feels so magical, yeah, like when we were small.
One thing I forgot to mention is that you melt white chocolate chips and pour them into this frosting to make it extra. This frosting is delicious. I know I said that before, I could eat it all, but you did have to wait for the white chocolate chips to be melted, which took forever. And then I forgot to press record when I poured it in. It was underwhelming. But now I'm just getting all of the orange zest and juice added in. I'm gonna mix it all together with the powdered sugar, make the most delicious frosting I have tasted in my entire life, and spread it on to the bars. And then you make it even better by adding more white chocolate and craisins.
I think I hear them call. So baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas. Can't wait to head back home. When the sleigh bells call, I hit the road. Baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas.
snow is falling down.
Well, I am nearly done with the final treat. I'm just adding the dried cranberries, and then I'm going to show off my cutting things into triangle skills and show you the most delicious treat on the planet. But that's it for the treats. Now we're going to pack them up. I have these fun little takeout containers and some fun tissue paper with like candy cane stripes on it. And I keep it really simple. I bought these containers a couple of years ago. There was a ton of them, and I've just used them every year. And I'm adding in my treats. I'm going to use ribbon, and that's delicious. That's one of them. And then I also pack the sugar cookies a little bit different, which I will show you.
I might be crazy, but I think you feel it too. Like a vibration right between us with a beautiful.
Well, for the sugar cookies, I'm just using these massive bread bags because I didn't have anything smaller. And you notice I'm only packing up the gluten-free things because I didn't want to contaminate any of the food. So I'm just focusing on that. But that's it. That's everything. I hope that this gave you some ideas. It was certainly fun to get all of my Christmas baking done and share it with you. Everything was delicious. Let me know if you try anything. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Or is it just your eyes that have lit something in me?